For the show creators to act like they were going to debut a brand new theme song before the start of this episode, and then they ended up releasing the same theme song just with stronger violins anyway, I gotta admit, that's pretty fucking hard. I gotta admit, man, that is hard as hell, man. Like, this show already knows its theme song is the shit. It didn't need to change anything. It just released the same theme song. It gives the same vibes, the same hype. It gives you the same energy that it gave in the original series. So why change anything? I like that. I like that idea. They basically did what George Lopez always did. It just said, I got this. It just did that. So I gotta give credit where credit is due. Thank you, Game of Thrones, because I played that intro twice. I had to rewind it. I'm thinking to myself, we're getting a brand new theme song. No, they debuted the same one, and for that just made it even better. For them to announce that we're gonna make a brand new theme song for you, and they just give you the same one, that is bold. That is bold, brave, and absolutely iconic. Thank you, Game of Thrones. But anyway, on to this review. Hey guys, it's your guy in the chair here, and this is my review for House of the Dragon episode 2. Just going to be going over, the big parts of the episode, just my overall thoughts and what I think is going to happen, how I felt about this episode itself. But before I get started with that, I just have a completely random thought I just had to get off my chest. If this show takes place 300 years before Game of Thrones, isn't there supposed to be some sort of, like a tell? Like, aren't you supposed to tell that this is taking place 300 years before? Like, the wardrobe didn't change. The tables haven't changed. They use the same cups, the same language, same pieces of paper. Like, they're the same castles, the same housing. There's nothing. The same villages. There's nothing different about the 300-year time difference between House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones. The only difference is there's dragons. So if you're telling me from 300 years apart, if the only difference we're getting in that big of a time span is dragons, I don't know, something's weird there, but that is a completely random thought. I'm going to get to my thoughts on the episode now, but that let me know what you guys think. I just found that pretty weird. It's 300 years apart, and there's nothing to show for it. It's 300 years of nothing. They basically kept the things the same for 300 years. That's a damn shit. That is no human advancement at all. We're still using nobody. It's a 300-year difference, and we're still using swords. It's the same swords in both years, both timelines. I don't understand. I don't know. Random thought, let's get to the review. So the biggest standout to me, at least in the first 2 episodes, are the parallels, especially between the king from Game of Thrones Season 1's Robb Baratheon, basically Robb Stark too, and our king here in House of the Dragon. I don't know his name yet. It's Rhaenyra's dad or whatever. I'm gonna get better at the names, I promise. But right now, you got to give me some time, because there are a lot of names to remember. The only ones I remember so far are Rhaenyra and Daemon. And those are the only ones I really care about right now. So, but anyway, there are a lot of parallels between our 2 kings from Game of Thrones Season 1 and House of the Dragon Season 1. Basically, the biggest parallel is they're both fucking morons. They just make moronic decisions. Their advisors are basically waiting for them to kill, either, slip up and let the throne just fall into somebody else's hands, or they're just waiting for them to die. Like, this guy, you can clearly tell that somebody is just waiting on this guy to mess up very badly. He probably already did by making the Hightower girl his new queen. That's probably just going to go awful. He's probably going to have a Robb Stark ending, essentially. Probably just either that or a Ned Stark. A Robb or a Ned Stark, yeah. Like, he's reminding me of all their bad decisions, like, early on in the earlier seasons of Game of Thrones. Like, this king here in House of the Dragon is just not, he's not going to work out. He's not cutting it. Even Daemon knows. Daemon literally said his worst characteristic is being a king, and we can obviously see that. So, clearly this decision of him trying to make the Hightower girl his wife is not going to make any sort of power move at all. It's just going to honestly just backfire at the end. Like, he's going to need Rhaenyra. I honestly liked Rhaenyra stepping up in this episode. I thought her, flying in to take the dragon egg back from Daemon, I thought that was a very heroic moment. And she got to show up the Hightower guy. Now, like I said, I know their last names are Hightower. I'm talking about he reminds me of Littlefinger a little bit. And then his daughter, the new queen. Like I said, I got to get better at these names, but I'm gonna refer to them as the Hightowers. Please try to follow along, because all I can do is my best. I'm definitely gonna add pictures up here, but all I can do is my best. So I'm gonna try my best with these names. But anyway, basically with the king making Hightower his new queen, I can see him either having a Robb Stark ending where he's going to get absolutely just murdered at his wedding. Well, yeah, the Red Wedding. Everybody remembers that, R.I.P. Or he's going to get Ned Stark, then just get his head cut off, and somebody's just going to walk on the throne and just take his place. like either way, it's not going to end very well for this king, and you obviously see that by Future Hendrix, or I think he's a House Valerian, but I'm gonna call him Future Hendrix because he just reminds me of an ancestor of Future. Like I feel like Future came from this line of guys, and we're just gonna run with that for the rest of these reviews. But basically, this guy teamed up with Daemon, and now because basically he wants these crab people, these crab eaters. He wants them gone. He doesn't want them to wipe his people out, so he had to team up with Daemon. I honestly don't blame him because, like I said, the king is very moronic, and you can tell that. Like you can tell nobody respects this guy's opinion a lot. Like I said, the High Tower, his assistants, like they don't really, they don't really care like what he really thinks or what he has to say. They're always going to try to manipulate him and make him try to do something else. Like the king's a moron. It is what it is, and they know that. Like everybody knows that. They're all trying to help him in the best way they can, but it seems like everybody's just trying to backdoor him. That's what I love about these characters. They're so slimy. They're just untrustworthy. Game of Thrones has some really untrustworthy characters, man. I love it. It makes for great television because you can't trust anybody. And honestly, I say this: Daemon and Rhaenyra, like I said, those are the only two I really, have actual respect for so far. Like everybody else, they're either just moronic characters, they're shiesty characters, or they're whores. And honestly, why do we have to call out the whores so much? I don't understand. First of all, the whole finding a wife thing, the king, not Daemon, the king basically had to choose between a 9-year-old and a 14-year-old. I want to say like it's a no-brainer, but like even then it's like that's the no-brainer should be why don't we marry somebody our age? They're mad at Daemon because he wants to marry. At least Daemon wants to marry somebody his age. Maybe she's a whore, but I mean, come on, man. Why can't princes have a little fun nowadays? This dude had the option between a 9-year-old and a 14-year-old. And Future had the nerve to be upset about that when the 9-year-old didn't get picked. I mean, this dude was furious. I get it. You want some sort of way to have power. But you guys are sick. Selling fucking 9-year-olds off to kings, to old-ass kings at that? Dude, they're literally walking in the fucking garden and this girl's just like, yeah, I'm gonna have all your babies. Just wait till I turn 14. My mom said once we do that, we are good to go. She said I can lay in bed with you. I'm just like, well, she broke the ice. I can't blame her. It's very awkward. It's very, very awkward. This show is crazy already. Like, has a lot of crazy shit going on. But like I said, he had to choose between a 9-year-old and a 14-year-old. Didn't make a good decision either way, but that decision is going to have ripple effects on him. It's going to end up probably biting him in the ass by the end of this season. Like I said, he's probably going to end up going out either like Ned or Robb Stark. Robert Baratheon just went out like a moron too. He can go out in any of those ways, but it's not going to end very well for him. I am, however, very excited to see where this alliance between Daemon and Future is going to go. I'm very curious to see how that's going to play out. I don't think Daemon seems like somebody to me where he only trusts Rhaenyra, really. Like, and he's going against her. And honestly, this is going to bite Daemon in the ass too, because she gave him the opportunity to kill her right there on that bridge. It could have been over. Daemon could have took the throne right then and there, but he didn't want to. So I already seen this. Like, it may further season 3, 4, further down the line, we're gonna see this play out again, where she's like, you should have killed me back there on that bridge, or he's gonna say I should have killed you back there on that bridge, and it's just gonna come full circle. So I'm waiting on that moment to happen. But Daemon had his chance to kill Rhaenyra, and he has a great respect for Rhaenyra. That's his niece, of course, at the end of the day. But I really just like how this episode set up a lot. And honestly, it's crazy because if you haven't seen Game of Thrones, I'm not necessarily sure if you can follow what they're trying to set up here. But you, literally, like I said, from the first episode, you can see all the backdoor action setting up. It's setting up perfectly. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the last, 5 or 6 episodes of this season was straight smoke. Because they are setting up a lot here. Like, we are going to be absolutely blown away by the end of this thing, guys. Basically, these first 2 episodes told us to buckle in, because you're not ready for whatever's coming next. I'm not ready for whatever's coming next. Second of all, well, I don't know what point I'm on at this point, but the dragons are beautiful. The dragons are absolutely incredible, amazing, breathtaking. I can't wait to see them spar off or fight. I can't wait to see that actually come full circle, man. These battle sequences, if you thought Game of Thrones had great battle sequences, I can only imagine what's going to happen in this series here. Like, there's going to be some really cool shit going on in the future, guys. I'm looking forward to the crab people, like South Park says. Crab people. Yeah, but I'm not even going to do too much more of that. But those are my overall thoughts on episode 2. 2 of Game of Thrones, or not Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon Game of Thrones. What did you guys think about it? What do you guys think is going to happen? Give me your theories for the rest of this season. Where do you think all of this backdoor stuff is going to... basically, backdoor means that, you know, they're being shiesty. Somebody's trying to come in and sneak their way into the top. Everybody wants that Iron Throne. Who do you think is going to be sitting on it by the end? Do you think Rhaenyra? Do you think Daemon? Do you think... who do you think? What do you think is going to go on? Let me know in the comments below, guys. Thank you so much for watching. This is your guy in the chair. More content coming to you soon.